Hey there, it's me Eden. Welcome to Eden's Crossdressing Stories. Today I'm going to share with you crossdressing story called Neighbor Caught Me, Part 1. So, if you're new to the channel, then please consider subscribing to get a new story every day. And please support my work on Patreon and get early access of the content. Patreon.com/Eden07. Link in the comment, thanks. For the first time in my life I was able to get changed without feeling the fear crawling down my spine. As I stepped into the heels and adjusted my dress, I glanced in the mirror one last time before I took my purse in hand and walked out the front door. The summer breeze wafted around my legs, lifting my dress a bit, but I ignored it and calmly walked to my car, got in, and drove across town to a small cafe I had selected for my first foray out as a girl. Walking inside I found a table near the wall, ordered a coffee, then sat back to simply enjoy my freedom. I had spent hours in my bedroom dressing as a girl, never managing to admit, even to myself, just how much I wanted to be a girl, let alone find the nerve to go out. I sat there for about an hour, the solitude of being alone forgotten, only the joy of being undiscovered foremost in my mind. Sauntering out of the cafe, I walked down the street window shopping, well aware that with every step I was taking myself further away from the car and its inherent safety, yet, each time I saw my reflection in a window I smiled, my conquest of the nagging fears that had gripped me for so long almost forgotten. After a 2-block walk I crossed the street, walking back on the other side, continuing to window shop until I was safely in the car, headed back to my apartment. As I flicked on the stereo, sitting my purse on the couch, the doorbell rang. Unable to change clothes merely to answer the door, and with no peephole, I let it ring while I tried to decide what to do. With a sigh, still fearing the inevitable discovery, I nonetheless found the courage and opened the door. I wore a tan sheath dress with white heels and white jewelry, my hair done in a casual page boy, and looked just fine, but the familiar fear grabbed me, almost making me stay silent and leave the door closed. As the door swung open I saw a neighbor standing there. Oh. Hi. I'm Marcy. Is Peter here? His car is here, so. Using my very best feminine voice, I'm sorry Marcy, he isn't here right now, perhaps later? Well, I just stopped by to tell him that we're having a small get-together at my place tonight. Maybe you would like to come as well? I'll tell him, I said, but I can't make it, sorry. Okay. Marcy said with a wave of her hand, see you later then? When she was gone I closed the door with a resounding thud, hoping that Marcy had not recognized me. I grabbed a soft drink from the fridge, sipping on it for a bit to settle my nerves, then the doorbell sounded again. Figuring it was Marcy again, I steeled myself once again, went to the door and yanked it open. Only it wasn't Marcy standing there. It was my best friend Bill. I stood there in frozen limbo as I tried to muster the ability to speak. Hello. Bill said with that famous grin of his. I'm Bill. I was looking for Pete, is he here? No, I'm sorry, he isn't, I said softly. You must be his sister. Blunt as always, Bill went on, you look better than Pete by a long shot, but the family resemblance is there. What's your name by the way? Diane, I said, hoping that Bill didn't try to come in. Well, listen Diane, Marcy, a friend of ours, is having a little get-together tonight. Maybe you would like to go? I can introduce you to everyone, just in case you're ever here again. I'm sorry, I said, I can't, but I'll tell Peter that you were here. It's too bad you can't make it, Diane. I'd much rather be with you than Pete any day. Thank you, but I can't make it, I said, then screwed up big time. Not tonight anyway. There's hope then, he said gleefully as he walked away. My first time out of the house as a girl, after years of practice, then not one, but two people that knew me well had come to the door and seen me dressed as a girl, and neither of them tumbled to the fact that I was their friend in a dress. It should have elated me, but instead I wondered how I would ever be able to leave my apartment again without Marcy or someone else seeing me. Despondent, I flopped on the couch wondering how I could have been so stupid. Not seeing the facts as they were, I managed to convince myself that both Marcy and Bill knew who I was, but were merely being polite. I went into my room and began to undress. After an hour or so I was myself again and regained some of my self-esteem as my fear of being found out faded away. I knew that I would be at the party, since not going would only tell everyone that I was snubbing them, so I called Marcy and told her I would be there. The party was just starting when I walked in, and the first person I saw was Marcy. She told me she was sorry that my sister couldn't come, adding that when Bill called her to say he would be there, he mentioned that he thought that Diane was one nice-looking girl. It was all I could do not to choke. Smiling, I walked away, hoping to steer any and all conversations away from Diane and back onto safe topics, like the weather. Bill prodded me about my sister, telling me that he would like it a lot if I could manage to talk her into going out with him. I said that I would consider it. As the party grew, Marcy managed to pull me aside, to an almost quiet corner. You know, she said with a grin, my kitchen faces the parking lot, and I was in there making treats for the party all afternoon, and you know what? I never did see your sister leave, and I never saw you arrive. In fact, your car was sitting there the whole time. Taking me by the arm and moving closer, you know what I think? I think that you're Diane. But you know me, Marcy. I said, so you know that I looked just cute as hell this afternoon, she said while gripping my arm tighter. Better than a few girls I can name as a matter of fact, she said as she looked over at Bethany. Then, when can I meet Diane again? When I said nothing. She can't stay cooped up in the apartment forever, Pete. Releasing my arm, think about it, please. I didn't answer her, of course, but drifted away to rejoin the party. I was not my usual party self that night, and didn't even bother to dance. I sipped on soda all night instead. With simple observation, Marcy had cracked my veneer of placid assumptions. I had figured I could leave without anyone knowing. That was a mistake, of course, yet I also knew that she would not simply drop her demand to meet Diane again, and while I didn't want that, I was at a loss to figure a way out of it. If she took it into her mind to tell anyone, I would be on the outside looking in for my entire time at college. I left early, offering my apologies to Marcy. With a wink, she told me she would be over about 11 to meet Diane. I only had two choices. Let Marcy meet me as Diane, or quit going out. One was dangerous and the other impossible, because I knew that I wouldn't just stop getting dressed, especially after my one time out. I knew that I would do it again, I had to. But if I let Marcy come over and meet me when I was Diane, she might laugh, tease me, tell someone, or worse, demand that I get involved with her group of friends as Diane. It was a no-win situation, and as I walked across the parking lot I cursed the gods that made me feel like a girl on the inside, but gave me a male body. That's all for now. See you in the next video, till then take care. Oh yes, Next part of this series will be published soon. So, please subscribe to my channel. And to get early access to the content, visit my Patreon page. patreon.com/Eden07. Link in the comment and description.